Steam is an ocean of forgotten games, but I stumbled onto something that felt different.
I'll be gone soon. You won't even notice.
7 Days is a game that shouldn't be as quiet as it is. It's a story about the weight of trauma and the quiet, painful process of letting go. And honestly, it left me feeling a little bit broken. I've played a lot of games, everything from the completely absurd to the cinematic, story-driven and world-building heavy games. But very few prioritise like raw emotion and a relatable, painful narrative quite like 7 Days. Everyone can relate to it on some level, but I've definitely never seen it handled the way it's done here. The story follows a young man with a traumatic past. It begins as he falls asleep and enters a dreamlike state governed by his inner self. These 7 dreams act as a journey through his subconscious, with each day focused on a specific painful memory, from an abusive family that neglected him, to failed relationships, from crippling anxiety that makes him doubt every second of his life. He even has to relive witnessing his own cat being killed. As you can tell, it's a dark story, but with each memory he learns to process the trauma and move on, reminding himself that he didn't deserve it and that it wasn't his fault. This leads to a bittersweet ending where he finally comes to terms with his life. When he returns to the real world, he has no memory of the dreams, but he suddenly feels lifted. The game shows this shift through some clever symbolic references. Whenever you eat in the dreams, the food is always described as dry, yet on the 7th day when he finally wakes up, it finally tastes nice. It's such a brilliant, symbolic little touch. It reminds me very much of What Remains of Edith Finch, or Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. It carries that same heavy atmosphere. It makes you feel surreal and isolated. It's the kind of thing that's difficult to describe unless you've experienced it yourself. However, unlike those two games, 7 Days includes text-based dialogue and more straightforward objectives, though it still leaves plenty of mysteries completely unexplained, even after finishing the game. 7 Days is a short, emotional game, but its message is beautiful. The fact that it was created by a single developer just proves it was a true passion project. If you ever fancy something different from a game that leaves an impact despite its short stay, I do recommend 7 Days on Steam. At the minute, it's at £3, or I reckon it's probably around $5 in anywhere else. Go check it out.